Welcome to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis, where every day I aim to bring you the latest in UFO reports and other fascinating stories from around the globe. Today is Wednesday, February 28th, 2018, and on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central, join me for my talk show, The Outlander, where I answer your emails, take your calls, and interview some intriguing guests. And when it comes to these odd topics, everything from aliens to angels, personally, I'm someone who has been there, seen that, freaked out, found some answers, wrote about it, got over it, and now I'm hoping to help others do the same darn thing and understand this wild world that we live in. Just go to HeidiHollis.com for more information and IRNchat.com to chat, interact, and listen live to The Outlander Show. Blasting off with some UFO reports. A UFO sighting in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ooh, this is a UFO blast from the past. This occurred August 15th, 2007. In brief, flew overhead, no sound or strange lights glowed. I was homeless at the time. Oh, that's horrible. Living in the corner of a parking lot with permission in a hooch, and it was hot, so I was outside looking at the stars, and the three objects flew overhead, same size and color, cream-colored. Didn't make a sound. Took me a second to realize what I saw. These were not any type of aircraft I know of. I am a vet. Oh, too many of our vets are homeless. That's terrible. So I know what planes and helicopters look like. I wasn't scared, more amazed than anything. Never thought I would see any, even been to Roswell. If anything, they are probably drones, considering how they fly, and the high-speed, sharp maneuvers. They just flew overhead, out of sight. That's a straight-to-the-point sighting, isn't it? All right. This is an... Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me see something here real quick. One sec. This one is a very brief report, and I wish there was more to it. UFO sighting in Lewisburg, West Virginia, and this occurred December 16th, 2009, and they just put abduction. I was taken aboard and communicated with beings from another world or dimension. And that's all they put. Ooh, I wish they put more. Oh, I wish they put more. Here's another kind of brief one. UFO sighting in Omaha, Nebraska. This occurred February 18th, 2018. Green ball in sky. At 90th Street driving west, bright green glowing ball in the sky. Though it was a UFO from the beginning. Oh, thought is probably what they meant. Just appeared in the sky to the west, then disappeared. It didn't affect me personally. It went dark. Okay. Alien encounter in Farwell, Michigan. Ooh. This one occurred not too long ago, August 13th, 2017. Oh, they put one word. Terrifying. At around 2:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning in August of 2017, I woke up to go to the bathroom like anybody would at 2:30 a.m. waking up. So when I was walking up my stairs, I opened the basement door. I immediately attached to something, and whatever it was, it carried me to my backyard. Wow, what? When the thing was carrying me on its shoulder to my backyard, I saw 6 red-orange glowing objects in the sky, and they were just hovering there, making no noise. And the 6 glowing objects were in a V-shaped formation, with no lead tip part of the V-shaped formation. You know, these things tick me off. They just come into your home, take you without permission, like they're taking out the trash or something. I mean, what is that? That is such bogus. It just ticks me off. Aliens, if you're listening, let us know. Give us a call. If this is all innocent and all that stuff, just let us know. What are you up to? I've seen aliens, just so you guys know, so I get it. It's like, what the heck? That's just crazy. And what did you do? I mean, you had to use the bathroom, so what happened? I'm curious. Did they just make that disappear? Do you know, I actually... I'm trying to remember if I was at a UFO conference and someone told me, yes, that they used the bathroom on a ship. Not kidding. Use the bathroom. And I think I had one of my friends mention that too. Use the bathroom on a ship, on a UFO. Isn't that something? Okay. All right. And they continue. I did some research online that day, and no UFO sightings were reported, and also no military activities on that day. It happened. So, anyways, a platform dropped, and once the thing stepped onto the platform, I blacked out, and everything turned white. From what I remember, I woke up with humanoid like figures looking down at me. And once I had woken up, I couldn't move anything but my eyes. And then I blacked out again, and everything turned white again. I remember one more thing, and that thing was waking up. Once I woke up, I couldn't move any part of my body except my eyes. At what looked like some type of alien science fair with professional looking scientists? Oh my god. Gosh. That's disturbing. I don't think that they noticed me whilst I was looking around. These beings look like the gray beings that we would describe as tall and gray. Oh no, American grays are short over here. Just so you know, this sounds like you're across the pond with the whilst. We don't use that much. Um, so I'm thinking the taller grays. I have heard of people who have been abducted by the smaller grays that there is a taller gray, but usually they're not as frequent. Isn't that something that they kind of have different experiences across the pond? It's weird. Over in Europe. When I woke up, they were all clapping as if they had accomplished something using me. Huh. I believe that these beings, whoever they are preparing me for something big that I don't know of. That is really weird. I just, wow. That's an interesting one. All right, UFO sighting in Clear Lake, Indiana. This one is a serious blast from the past. This occurred in, June 18th, 1988. Observed object going to the east, odd looking, incredible rate of speed. Not a shooting star, 2 or 3 minutes later, going west. Now, with a V-shaped squadron of jets, 5 to be exact, in pursuit. You see this pattern again. Our jet fighters chasing them down. Okay, they start off saying, my son, his friend, and myself were going to my uncle's cabin in Clear Lake, Indiana, around June 20th of 1988. We were driving from Detroit suburbs. We arrived around 11:30 p.m. The cottage was 30 yards from the water. The boys were out on the dock looking at the sky. It was a beautiful summer night. I was unloading the car. My son yelled to me and my dad to come quick. I had to run down a small incline and out to the dock that went about 10 feet out in the water. My son said, there is something that just flew in the sky at an incredible speed we can't explain. It would have been an easterly direction. Now, when I got there, I saw nothing, but we just stood there looking upward at the sky for maybe 10 minutes. Beautiful summer night, etc. Well, I was thinking, let's wrap this night up. Then, from right to left, going at a mind-boggling speed, this object flew in front of our eyes. Now, in my lifetime, I have seen blue fireballs in the Tampa, Florida area, shooting stars, and in Oregon in 1973, the comet spelled with a K. I can't pronounce it. This was none of those things in maybe a 10-second time frame. There comes a squadron of 5 jets in a V formation in pursuit. Now, this whole sequence lasted maybe 15 seconds. I would swear on a stack of Bibles to what the 3 of us saw. Our reactions to this were, did we just see this event? No one will believe us. This is really, really cool. We lost sight because it was going upward on an angle. The jets, they just flew out of our sight eventually. The next, I didn't think to call an Air Force base or anything like that, or even ask anybody on the water if they saw anything. I can just say this event is still clear in my mind and my son, and I still bring this sighting up to everyone. Hmm, I bet that was moving. Alrighty. Next UFO sighting. Oh, hold on. UFO sighting in Linton and Lynmouth, England. This occurred May 31st, 2016, and they just put the word disc. These photos were taken on holiday nearly 2 years ago. While looking closer at them today, I noticed the strange object. I didn't know I had captured this object on my camera at the time, and that is all they put, so guess what? Let's see what kind of doozy they got here. I like these pictures that they come up with. It's so fascinating. All right, let's see. All right. Oh, yeah, they got a lot of photos lined up here. Okay. We're just going to go through and we're going to have a click and a look. Oh, and they drew an arrow. Oh, that is really hard to see. Okay, maybe it's soon been on the next one. All right, clicking. Is there a zoomed one? And, no. Huh. It's like it might be a saucer. It's so tiny. Maybe there's more photos that are a little bit clearer. So, oh, yeah, there's more. Okay. 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 That looks like a clearer saucer or something. And there goes another one. Wow, it's like this thing was stalking them while they're like walking along this beach and through the woods. Huh. Well, they had a good eye to see this. Oh, yeah, I see it again. Wow, they have several pictures. Oh, beautiful. Wow, very pretty where they're at, let me tell you. But yeah, like what is that? Pretty good eye. That you guys got to check that one out. I'll have the links on the site. That was pretty fascinating. All right. This next UFO report comes from New Zealand. Black Triangle. This occurred March 14th, 2017. Propulsion system seemed to also be an accelerator with colored orbs that shot out of the ship. The ship hovered but didn't land. In more detail, a group of particle physicists and geneticists. What? Hold on. What are they? They're giving a report of something. I am not sure what this is. Okay, let's just read it. A group of particle physicists and geneticists have created a spacecraft and are currently residing in space. They are running an extermination program for people they don't want on this planet. I am being hunted by the spacecraft. It is a black triangular and larger than a stadium. They have a particle accelerator beamed aimed at the Earth. They can aim it at more than one person at a time. The beam is cold, translucent in appearance, contains a magnetic field, can travel long distances in seconds. Okay. All right, there's a lot more to their conclusions there, but I will just leave you guys to go and read that one. That is it's a little bit out there. I don't know. It's not quite a report. So this next UFO report comes from Kingston, Wisconsin. This occurred February 20th, 2018. Giant orb the color of setting sun, size of moon, crossed in front of car, lit up entire mint farm like it was daytime. Both occupants first-time believers. I love that. Heading east on Highway B from Marquette to Kingston with Old Mint Farm on both sides of the road. The giant orb was the size of the moon, but was the color of the sun. It moved from right to left, and it lit up the coal-black soil of the farm as if it were daytime. Neither occupants of the automobile had ever seen a UFO, and neither believed they existed. And then they quote, "It was definitely a UFO, and it was as bright as the sun. We believe now. Me and my friends have been ridiculed badly, but seeing is believing." You know what, guys? I'm from Wisconsin, and I saw something quite similar. It was nighttime. Huge, it took up the whole sky. Everywhere you looked, it was a UFO, and it glowed this orangish, reddish, like the sun. And the edges were not distinctive. And, I could see how they might think it was an orb because it was round, but as it went off, it was oblong for me. So I've heard more of these types of ships, and it almost seemed like it was alive, the one that I saw. I mean, organic, not a metal. So pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, this next UFO sighting occurred in London, England, across the pond. A slight UFO blast from the past. This occurred April 15th, 2010. Two lights the size of cars, Ford Focus. I like how they specified. Had spikes of light coming out and going back in liquid, like flying up and down the street. I watched for 5 minutes, then I said, "I see you," under my breath. At that point, both lights came above me, no noise, then took off. Wow. In more detail. Two white lights the size of cars, Ford Focus. What a tongue twister. Okay, they're repeating this part, and then both lights came above me, no noise, then took off upwards, turning orange, then completely disappeared. Me and my wife came back from the movies around 11:45 and parked up and got out of the car. They were 4 to 5 feet higher than the house. Not hard to miss. My wife was scared and ran indoors. I was interested and carried on to watch the whole thing, which lasted 5 minutes, no sound. I had a calm, warm feeling as I watched. There were Icelandic volcanic ash cloud alert, grounded UK flights at the time, so all airports were closed, as far as I know. Never seen them again. Isn't that interesting? So they know that there were no other craft in the sky because of the Icelandic volcanic ash. So whatever was popping around was not one of our boys because it wasn't easy to fly in. Isn't that interesting? Oh, that's a cool one. That was really cool. Okay. And you know what? Get this. That person said they had a warm, fuzzy feeling. Now, how many of these reports did I read off and people are like, I felt threatened, I felt hunted, I felt watched. But these things responded, but he still felt warm and fuzzy. Now, isn't that something to be an observer and get an outside feeling? Imagine that. Imagine that. So that's pretty cool. All right, black triangle sighting in Kirkby, Stephen, England. This occurred December 16th, 2017. Driving down A66, I see bright green lights. And they go on to give more of the report. And when out the rear left passenger window, I see something in the sky that was flying alongside of us going west. It had bright green lights, at least two, that weren't blinking or flashing, they were just on, and it also had two red flashing lights. One would flash on, then turn off. At first, one turned off, the second turned on. It repeated this pattern until it got ahead of us, where I could no longer see green, but there was a faint red light in the sky. Still flashing the red lights, this time it was off. One red light on, I'm guessing, and then brighter than the previous. Too dark for photos, but there were other aircraft in the sky at the same period. This was bigger and closer. Didn't match the navigation light patterns of those that the green lights formed an upright pyramid. Ooh. And the red lights were around the middle bottom side. Okay, I got the image now. Okay, I get it. All right, this next one, black triangle sighting in Altoona, Florida. This occurred February 19th, 2018. Lights and brown throughout the whole county. Then large city-like ship quickly disappears. Oh, okay, what is this? In more detail, they say, to explain this, first off, I have no evidence I can submit to you except the fact that the bombing range in our area is heavily barricaded right now when normally the roads surrounding are open access. Oh, that's an interesting observation. They issue statements in the paper here in town when they will be bombing. Well, that's a good thing. This time, it just says testing and to not go into the woods or there will be a prosecution. What? Oh, that's crazy. So last night I was walking to the gas station near the house for some smokes and saw lights and thought it was cops, but saw no car and realized it was far away. Toward the direction of the Ocala National Forest this took place. Then I witnessed a brownout right after, and apparently this stretched county-wide and further somehow. I saw some massive object just leave, and by the time I heard a low, bassy sound, it was gone. My parents have witnessed this craft a few times in the past year. They came clean to me about it, and they are straight-laced Christians. They would not like to be contacted in any way, though. I, on the other hand, will offer you proof of places and times. You may be able to witness something yourself indefinitely. Indefinitely? You mean definitely. There is also a major EMP presence around here. Pick that up from an anonymous source. Thank you for your time and hope that you take this seriously. Wow. Isn't that something? Prosecution. I mean, usually it's just a bombing place and they're going to prosecute? I mean, geez, Louise, that's scary. Wow. I couldn't imagine living in a bombing practice area anyhow, but then to be like, if you look further, we're going to persecute. Ooh, that's persecute and prosecute. Honestly, Men in Black. All right. So, anyways, moving on to a paranormal point of stories because we do dig the paranormal as well around here. And hey, you're on Inception Radio Network. It should be expected, shouldn't it? I think so. All right. We're going to talk some more and share some stories about alien contact. How about that? Or even just UFO sightings because we dig that too. Okay, this person is sharing their story, and it's called A Bright Light. My senior year of high school, my best friend and I were at our home in Florida. This is the part of my story where some credibility could be lost. My friend and I decided on this particular day that we were going to make weed brownies. Okay, that's pretty funny. Um, I'm not going to get into how they were made or even really focus on that. After the brownies were done, we ate a couple and then our day just disappeared. I don't know what happened. I just remember both of us waking up in our bed, scared. Oh, that's disturbing. There was a bright light and a humming noise coming from outside of her window. We were so scared. I remember her and I cuddling together and her saying, I will give you $20 to go check on my family. Of course I declined. This light was bright, like someone was pulled up right next to her bedroom window and shining their car's brights into her room. There was a hum, loud enough to be noticed, but yet no one else in her house woke up. This is where the story gets weird. Her bedroom window was behind tall bushes. There was a tree almost directly in front of her window and a fence surrounding her property, which was about 6 feet from the tree. There is no possible way a vehicle could have been in her yard. Her window and house were far enough from the road that even if a car was on the road, shining its brights in the direction of her window, it could not be that dramatic. The light and noise lasted for what seemed like forever, but in reality was only several minutes. For years, I forgot about the experience. Well, a better explanation is that I just didn't think about it and blamed the weed. I lost an entire day of my life, and when I came to, I was lying in a bed, scared, with a bright light shining into a window, which wasn't feasible given the circumstances, accompanied by a humming. If I was not abducted, My friend and I witnessed someone in her house being abducted. What's even stranger is that, as an adult, I realized that I have this special ability to break electronics just by sitting near them or touching them. I've always referred to myself as a white noise. That's funny. After reading symptoms of abductees, I realize that it's common. I've eaten weed brownies before and after, and nothing has ever happened to me like that before. I'm a skeptic about the whole abduction thing, but this was unexplainable from a logical standpoint. The fact that two of us experienced it, the same thing, one of us being a psychologist now, and the other working in journalism. Just weird. Wow, I'd say something happened. I tell people to trust their gut, and I don't think their gut really betrays them. That was a fascinating story. Okay. Oh, here comes something similar. 2 days vanished, this story is called. I remember it was the 5th through the 7th of June 2 years ago. On the 5th, I lived a normal day and was preparing for a friend's birthday in 2 days. Then I woke up to find myself on the 7th. When I checked the calendar, I wrote notes in my hand, writing, though shaky, on the 6th. In your handwriting, shaky on the 6th. Okay. My friends all said I seemed depressed and not myself the day before, though I have no memory of it. I supposedly did everything I planned to on the 6th and was prepared for the party. I was freaked out, having absolutely no memory of the day, but forgot about it for a while. If it hadn't been for what happened afterwards, I would have assumed it was a boring day or I had some brain spasm. Anyway, what brought me to this sub This sub is a recurring dream. Okay. I started having close to New Year's that year. It started out faded and short, but on later, quote, replays of the dream, I had more and more details leading to a very vivid dream. I normally have this dream after a powerful emotional day. Anyway, the dream in short is me held, lying down, with invisible restraints and loud static that occasionally sounded like a random word in different accents. Bear, fear, tame, Brian. I don't even know a Brian. All I saw was darkness, but it felt like looking at a bright light with closed eyes, where something is shining through. I'm thinking of seeing a hypnotist. Wow, that's different. I can say I've not heard of such a thing. That's very unique. It seems like you're leaning towards it being alien since you put it there as being an alien story. So, absolutely fascinating stuff. Well, we got a mixture tonight, didn't we? Well, I have to tell you guys, thank you so much for listening to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis, and be sure to check out UFOHeadlineNews.com every single day, and also tune into my other 2 weekly shows, The Outlander on Fridays, and I co-host on The Kevin Cook Show every Tuesday. Both shows are at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and see my paranormal comic strip, The Outlanders. Just go to theoutlanderscomic.com. Direct links can be found on everything I mentioned at HeidiHollis.com or InceptionRadioNetwork.com. And if you've experienced something out of the ordinary and want some level-headed advice, or if you've seen a UFO and want to share, be sure to write me at my site here, UHN, at InceptionRadioNetwork.com. Remember always to keep an open mind so you can stay informed